So this happened. Penalty. Oh, but wait. There was lots of changes made at this point. You can see on the side, left-hand side, all the green arrows. What's happened? I've made all the changes and something's happened. Why is there not a red shirt taking this penalty? I think I may, just may, have broken the game because... That way so you can see. Ready for it? Are you ready? Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of Turmoil at Tranmere, and that was a barrow last, wasn't it? That was against Liverpool in the last friendly. I forgot to mention that in the last episode. However, yes, it was a lot of fun, and I still can't get over that USA won the World Cup, and the fact that England got to the semi-final. They actually won, beat Mexico, I believe it was, as a third place playoff. But we've got an important game today. It's the first game back in the Football League, and it's against Cheltenham Town. Let's get into it, shall we? So if you joined us last time, obviously we haven't actually done anything. We haven't moved on from this point. We've got Cheltenham Town today. Let's just have a look at them and see how they've been getting on. And yeah, it's been a while since they've been in the Vanarama National League. Obviously, they got relegated recently and got back at the first attempt. But before that, it was a while, a hell of a long time. They were back. They got up in 98-99 season into the Football League. A few years later, they got into League One. Had a few like little yo-yos with them with League One, and ended up struggling like somewhat in the bottom division of the Football League before getting relegated in 2014-15. Since then, nearly got straight up into League One again, lost in the playoffs. But otherwise, I've got Gary Johnson, who used to manage, check this out for knowledge, Newmarket Town. Yes, you heard me right. Let's see if I can find him on here. There you go, Newmarket Town. Right, the reason why I know that is my uncle, he works for one of the horse racing trainers. Might have heard of him, Willie Haggis, and he's based in Newmarket, and every now and again I go away, I go and see him, and I usually have a look around all the horses and whatever. I don't know much about horse racing, I just know one or two things, but that's about it really. But enough about that, in my opinion, more in sport. Gary Johnson, otherwise, very good manager, you can see there. It reminds me of Mickey Mellon. I don't know if I ever showed you Mickey Mellon's attributes. I'm sure I did, because on not the last episode, but the one before. But yeah, tactical knowledge is 13, which is very good, and all his coach attributes are very, very good as well. So I'm expecting a really tough game. Obviously, it's Lee Johnson's dad as well. But their key man, this is what we're going to be up against. This is the kind of calibre that we're up against. Brian Graham, a little bit tasty, isn't he? Striker, fairly nimble, not the quickest. I'd say probably slightly better than our strikers, but I wouldn't say is amazing. Vowed a lot more, I think, than ours. But yeah, it could give us a few problems. So just a few things to let you know, basically, before we get into this game, just to try and give you a little bit more info. We've got 3 injuries. Jay McEverly is still out, thanks to that injury that he sustained. I think it was against Arsenal. Adam Lewis is the new signing, of course. He pulled up in under-18s game, which happened a few days ago. He's out with pulled ankle ligaments. And Brian Barney, unfortunately, did quite well in the in the pre-season. Last game against Liverpool, he pulled up after 90 minutes, and he's actually out for between 10 days and 3 weeks. I'm sure it said 6 to 7, unless I clicked it said 4 or 5, I can't remember. You know, sometimes it says 6 to 7 weeks and you've got a few options, and one of them's 4 or 5. I think I just clicked on that. I'm just going to show you the players from last season, just briefly. Scott Davis is largely the same, you can see there, he's not really improved much. Gary Clegg is the youngster that we got in at the beginning of last season. Improving quite a bit, to be fair to him. The Hound, nearly forgot about him. Pretty much, he's largely the same as what he was at the end of last season, but he improved a fair amount. Not loads, but like he's 13 to 13s. We had a few arrows going up only slightly. Buxton, largely the same. Guy, largely the same. Same with Connor Kirby and Devine Green. Feel free to pause at any point on these parts. I'm just trying to speed through them. Dunn has improved it a little bit, but not tons, but I'm guessing that's because his determination is high. But he's actually going to be the captain this season with his leadership of 14. So there's not really many other options, to be fair. Devante Green, he's improved his right foot. I got a notification just the other in-game day. Alibis largely the same, which is a bit of a shame. Connor Hunt, you only see him as a backup at best. Granderson, pretty much the same. You've already seen the next 3 guys, and Correa. Norwood, pretty much exactly the same. McEvely dropping like it's hot with his fitness, his physical attributes really more than anything. Still going to be, he's probably going to be third choice I think this year, even though he's probably slightly better than Clegg. I want to give Clegg the game time. Richard Sutton only here because he had an extra year on his contract. He's literally going to be fifth choice backup. Adam Lewis, you've already seen. Ollie Norburn, as mentioned before, his determination on the last episode. Determination just isn't good enough. And then Ben Tollett, determination of 1, get in. Showing a slight little bit of improvement, but it's a shame because I like to look. It sounded like he was going to be one of the better players, and unfortunately, it's not the case. Everyone else is either youngsters, and you're probably not going to see much of them. But if we do use them, you'll get to see them at the time. Right. So before we get into the team lineups, I just want to go over a little issue that we've got, and that is, I thought you could have 5 loan players in the matchday starting squad. I've got 7 loanees at the minute, which you probably were shouting at the screen at the time. I've got, obviously, Cesson and Hound, Casimir and Slater, and only one other can go on the bench. So I've dropped Connor Kirby, of all people, to the bench. He's the vice-captain this season as well. Edson Barn is injured as well, so I can't really do anything about that. But it does mean I've had to play, also, a youngster, because I don't have any players that are trained by the club in the matchday squad, and you need at least one, which is a new ruling for me. I just thought it was just homegrown in the nation. So yeah, I'm having to put Peter Benjamin in. I might have to see if I can, hopefully, well, I say I can get one. I don't think I can get a goalkeeper that comes through the academy, and I'll be able to put him in there because I'd rather have him take up the goalkeeper slot and have outfield players where I'm not restricted like that, because originally I dropped Jermaine Grandison to the bench, but then realised that I had too many loan players. But anyway, enough jibber jabber. Let's get into the game. Let's finally start this season in League 2. Come on, boys, let's kick some ass. Right, so here we are, first game of the season, and we are at Prenton Park, and it's going to be Davies in goal to start off with. We've got Sessignon at right back making his debut. We've got 3 debuts today. We've got Buxton at left back with Clegg alongside Hound in the middle of defence. We've got Slater alongside Casimir, the new centre midfield pairing that have done really well in pre-season. We've got Jacobs on the left, Green on the right. We've done in between them with Alabi just ahead of him. They've got Gallagher in goal. They've got Davey, O'Shaughnessy, and Boyle as a back 3. We've got wing backs with Tuto, Ruan as wing backs. We've got Dawson and Pell in the middle of the park with Wing, not playing on the wing but playing as an attacking midfield centre. Isa alongside that man highlighted at the beginning of the game, Graham. They've also got 4 debutants. I'm going to say 3, but I realise the goalkeeper is a debutant as well. Let's get into the changing rooms. Let's try and G these guys up. It's all over to you. Have a good one. Cheers, boys, because that team top selection is absolutely dog turd. There we go. A lot of faith, a lot of greenery even. Buzzing the tits off. Come on. We need to. I hope we don't have a bad start like we had last season. I hope, obviously, we don't get to a stage where we're getting called into the ballroom. Don't forget, we're still only on a 1-year contract, so we have to earn our right to party. You know, Signor de Party Richter. But yeah, that was like 2 weird transitional references. Right, so new boy Kasumu is looking a little bit nervous, which is a shame. But here's Tuto, plays it over the top for Wing, who's not on the wing, of course. I've already cracked that joke, G. Shut up. Davis with a good save. Right, so early signs. It's looking like we're dominating the possession, not really doing too much with it. I'll leave it at about another 5 minutes, or after this highlight, if they score. If they score, then we're definitely putting pass into space on, because we'll need to create some more. But here's Dawson. What's he going to do? That's a shot. Okay, well done, mate. Well done. Pleased for you. Right, so nothing again has happened. So let's put pass into space. Let's confirm the changes, and yeah, let's try and take the game to him. I'm not liking that Casemiro is looking very nervous. I'm going to say no pressure. Right, we've got a free kick. It's been played in. It's headed away by the Hound. Isa with a shot. It's gone just wide. It's very close, to be fair. Again, we're having a lot of possession, but they're having the chances. Now, Cheltenham, I wouldn't have had down as a team that's going to finish in the higher echelons of the league. I mean, I know they finished 6th on this game, but you don't really ultimately think of Cheltenham as a title contender, if you know what I mean. Right, but we've got an early cross in here, and Gallagher is equal to the challenge, unfortunately. Sessignon just like a million miles an hour, isn't he? Just like his brother. His brother's just a little bit better going forward, I think. Didn't realise he had a twin, Ryan Sessegnon, that is it. I saw Sessegnon, I thought, no, it can't be. Can't be Ryan Sessegnon, surely. It was Fulham as well, you see. But anyway, is this a chance for us finally? Dunn heads it in towards Jacobs. It's headed away. Dunn plays it into Kasumu. Smashes it over the bar. Same tactic as before, of course. The Hound steps over the ball. Plays it all the way to Jacobs. Plays it up top. Alabi got the strength to get in behind. That's a penalty. Penalty it is. Who's the penalty taker now? Shite. My main penalty taker's on the bench. Who is this? Jacobs. He has 10 penalty taking. Scores it though, but I don't care. That's his first goal back in the Football League. Devante Jacobs, the man. Remember the name. If maybe I might do it at the end of the season. I might try and test your knowledge and say, who scored the very first goal back in the Football League? What do you think of that? A little bit of a quiz? Just let us know in the comments. So half-time is upon us, and yeah, I'm very happy with that so far. I normally would go the complacency route, but I'm going to say I'm pleased with things that are going, because it's his first game back, as I mentioned, in the Football League. He didn't get the response I wanted. I'm going to tell these two that you know, there's no pressure on them, and then I'm also going to take off James Alabi for the one reason and one reason only, that he's picked up a knock, which is a bit of a shame. So then everyone else can have a bit of faith. There we go. It's a decent team talk, I want to say. Here we go. Second half. Underway. Correa gets us back underway. Obviously the new ruling. I think it was the beginning of last season where you could pass it backwards. Not entirely sure. But if I'm being completely honest, I think I need... Obviously we've got a Tambani, who was not a bad... 2-0. Get in the Hound. I think that was the two defenders linking up there. But yeah, I think if anything, we need to work on his wingers, especially the right-hand side, because Tollett is probably not the answer, and neither is Jacobs. Jacobs I like for his pace. Sorry, not Jacobs, Green. I like for his pace. Jacobs, on the other hand, he's got some potential, but he's not really ready for this league yet. But he's got a goal, so I can't really complain. But it was from the penalty spot, so maybe I can. Right, they've got a chance. Free kick deep in our half. It's cleared away. Jacobs should get there first easily. What's he going to do? He's got not many options at the minute, but Fine's done with a good pass. Done now. Charging forward at pace. So glad I could keep him on. I wasn't glad about him running away from the ball completely, though, like a schmuck. But here's Isa. First time ball to Graham. He gets away from Clegg. Graham can smash it home, but he does it. Basically, Davis is just like a magnet. Right, time to make our first proper change. And Dunn had a bit of a poor game, so I'm going to bring on Christy Davis. Just for a bit of a debut, really, because I think he's done really well in the pre-season. Hopefully, he can come into this game with a bit of confidence and show why I've signed him, really. What the hell happened there? Oh, never mind, it's just a free kick. Right, so I'm going to make a change. I'm going to take off Green and bring Norwood on just to play in the right wing. Bit of a goal hero in the playoffs at the end of last season, so hopefully he can just chip in with a goal here, but probably won't, to be fair. Or will he? Here's a chance for Cheltenham. It's a goal. Davey is there. Just tell him to concentrate. I might have to tell him to encourage now. I'm a little bit nervous all of a sudden. Ball comes in here. It's not dealt with. Graham wins ahead and Davey just there. The acres of space. Never mind. Encourage. Right, free kick the other end. Christy Davis plays it in. Free kick corner ball. What am I talking about? Norwood. Hit it, son! It does. It goes everywhere and it's cleared away. Graham holds up the ball well though and finds Sellers. Scott Sellers, blast from the pass. Now it's Dean Gordon, another blast from the pass. We've got players queuing up at Sessegnon. Is there, not the original Sessegnon that was at Sunderland. The other blast from the past. Right, there's actually a highlight here. I've just changed the tactics. I've got a corner. I've changed it to retain possession to try and see out the game if we can. Chances are, as you're aware, it probably won't work out like that. I was not going to score because the Hound is going to hoof it. Avid style, Peter Kay style. So 5 minutes was a bit of a job. It looks like we're going to see it out. It's chipped forward. I thought Hound were going to get on the end of that. But never mind. Gallagher makes a save. Kicks it clear. Blow that whistle. Get in. First 3 points back in the Football League. Can't be happy. I'm absolutely buzzing off that. We did FM a little bit. It probably, on the whole scheme of things, probably a little bit even. I think it looks like we had 12 men against us as well with this 19 fouls to their 8. So who knows. But Megan Slater having a bit of a poor game. Bit of a shame that. But Gary Clegg. The man, the myth, the legend. He's not even a man, he's 17 years old. What a guy. Good win, boys. Don't get carried away, will you, boys? You know, first game back in Football League. You know, you think you'd be absolutely buzzing like me, but you know, Fuck you. So what a start to the season. We're into playoffs already. Let's not get carried away here. It's a long season again. Obviously, it's a lot of games. However, we are, as I mentioned before, we are going to be coming back for the game against Hull City. Hull City, we'll have a quick look at them just briefly. They actually finished 16th in the Championship, so I think they're not easily beatable, but I think there's every chance we can beat them. We are going to come back for that game. It's only going to be a one-off because, I mean, let's be honest, chances are we're not going to get a League Cup tie again because we're probably going to get beat. We are away from home after all, and then that next time we'll have a big game will be in January, and who knows, if we struggle, I might be in a sacking situation again. Hopefully not. And we'll get through this season. But yeah, I think we'll do Hull, and probably after that we'll probably push on quite a few games just to get us to another point where we can record and get the balance right out of how many episodes in between games. Because that's what I tried to do. I tried to get it, like, you know, like every 4 or 5 games if possible. Maybe 6 at a push, depending on what it falls on. Because it could be like a cup game on the 6th game. But it's just a case of just trying and break it up somewhat. But anyway, hopefully you can join us for the whole game. So that is it, boys. Thank you very much for watching. It's been greatly enjoyable, that first game of the season for me. Hopefully it has been for you as well. And if it has, why not go ahead and press that like button? It'd be greatly appreciated. As would you know, subscribing if you're indeed new, and leaving a comment below, even if it's just to let us know whether you think the quiz idea might be a good idea in terms of save-based quiz, as in who scored certain goals here and then. You know, that'd be greatly appreciated if I could have your feedback on that. But until next time, which will be, as mentioned, against Hull City at the KCOM Stadium, not the Circle anymore. It used to be the Circle, I'm sure it did. But anyway, the KCOM Stadium. I'll see you next time, and until then, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.